Have you ever noticed how some people just walk into a room and command respect, while others, well, they just don't? It's funny. It usually has nothing to do with their job title or how much money they have. It all comes down to the words they choose. So today, we're going to break down 5 really common phrases that instantly signal a weak character and just kill any respect you might have for them.
Right, and this is the fundamental idea we're playing with today. It's so simple, but so true. Think about it. Carelessly spoken words are like a direct window into a person's inner world. Your language, the words you use every day, they reveal everything about your mindset, your resilience, and really your personal power. So before we dive in, just take a quick second. Ask yourself that question, honestly. Are the words you're using building you up in the eyes of others, or are they tearing you down? Let's find out. Okay, kicking things off with number one, and this is probably the most common offender of them all. You know the drill. Something goes wrong, and for a person with a weak mindset, the very first instinct is to point fingers, everywhere but at themselves. It's the economy, it's my boss, it's bad luck, anything to dodge taking ownership. So you've basically got two ways to look at this. On one side, you have the victim mindset. They see responsibility as this heavy burden, and they just give away all their power to things they can't control. But on the other side, you've got the captain mindset. They see challenges as training, and they get that their real power is in taking control of their own reaction. I love this analogy. Just picture it. Two ship captains facing the exact same brutal storm. The foolish one is on deck screaming at the sky, cursing the wind, which of course does absolutely nothing. But the wise captain, they stay calm, they focus on what they can control, and they adjust the sails. The storm is the same for both. The response is what changes everything. At the end of the day, blaming other people is just admitting you're helpless. The very first step toward real strength, toward earning genuine respect, is to accept that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you always control how you respond. Okay, so phrase number two really builds on this idea of control, but this one is seriously dangerous. You made me angry. Wow. When you say this, you are signaling a complete and total lack of emotional self-control. You're basically handing someone the keys to your own mind and saying, "Here, you drive."
Think about this simple story for a second. You're walking down the street and someone just shoves you hard. Your instant reaction, a flash of anger, right? But then you turn around and you see the person is blind, using a cane. Now what happens? That anger just vanishes. Poof. It's replaced with empathy. The event itself didn't change, but your perception of it did, which proves your emotional response was always your choice.
And that's the absolute bottom line here. If other people can push your buttons, if rush hour traffic or a rude comment can dictate your entire emotional state, then you are vulnerable. You can be easily manipulated. Real strength is about building a kind of mental fortress where you decide how you're going to feel no matter what's happening outside. All right, number three. Ooh, this is a sneaky one, and I think we've all been guilty of it at some point. It's the "I'll be happy when" trap. You know, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or when I buy the house, or when I finally retire. It's this mindset of conditional happiness, where we're always putting off joy for some event in the future. Think about what that actually means. This way of thinking turns your life right now today into nothing more than a waiting room. You're not actually living, you're just waiting. Waiting for some perfect future that might not even happen the way you think it will. It just fuels anxiety and makes you miss out on the here and now. This little parable just says it all, doesn't it? So this big shot businessman sees a fisherman just chilling on the beach with his family. He tells him, "You should work harder, buy more boats, build an empire, so that one day you can finally retire and relax with your family." The fisherman's response is just perfect. He looks at him and says, What do you think I'm doing right now? He already had the thing the businessman was chasing. And that is the lesson. If your default mindset is always chasing the next thing, more money or more success isn't gonna fix it. You'll just be a richer, more anxious person. Peace is a daily practice, not a future purchase. This next phrase, this is the classic anthem of the victim. When a setback hits, a project fails, you get sick, whatever it is, the immediate response is, why always me? Like it's some kind of personal attack from the universe. But asking that question only makes things worse. It just makes you fight against reality, and that amplifies the pain. But here's the thing. The power is in one tiny change. A simple reframe of the question you ask yourself. You just switch from, why is this happening to me, to what can this teach me? That one little shift changes your entire perspective. You go from being a passive victim to an active student, finding a lesson in every single challenge. Think of it like a wrestler. You don't get stronger by wrestling someone you can easily beat. You get forged in the fire when you go up against the champion. So when life throws a really tough challenge your way, it's not trying to punish you. It's your coach. It's training you, making you stronger. And that brings us to this incredibly powerful idea. Look, pain is going to happen. Hardship, loss, failure, it's a part of life for everyone. That's inevitable. But whether you suffer because of that pain, now that is a choice. And asking why me is choosing to suffer. Asking what can I learn is choosing to grow. And finally, our fifth phrase. This is one that people wear like a badge of honor, don't they? I'm too busy. We say it because we think it makes us sound important, but a lot of the time it's really just a cover for bad priorities. What it actually means is that thing you're asking about, it's not a priority for me right now. So I want you to look at this number, 86,400. What on earth is that? It might seem random, but it is the most valuable currency you will ever have. That's how many seconds you get deposited into your account every single morning. And here's the catch. You can't save them. Whatever you don't use by midnight is just gone. Forever. Isn't it ironic that people will guard their money so carefully, but then they'll waste this far more precious resource on things that just don't matter? I mean, listen to this analogy. It just hits the nail on the head. What would you think of a driver who says they're too busy driving to stop for gas? You think they're crazy because eventually the car's just going to sputter to a halt. Well, it's the exact same for you. Neglecting your own growth, your health, your learning because you're too busy is the fastest way to burn out. So there you have it, the 5 big ones. It's not my fault. You made me angry. I'll be happy when, why always me, and I'm too busy. Each one of these is a chain of thought that holds us back, a tiny leak in our personal power. Look, just listening to this is the first step, but the real work starts now. So, as you go about your day today, just pay attention, listen to the words you use, and ask yourself this question, honestly. Which one of these chains are you ready to break starting right now?